How's it going, everybody? My name is Jim and welcome to FSD Driver. Today we're taking a highway drive out to the Minneapolis Airport, the viewing area. Me and my son love to go there and watch a couple unique airplanes that come into town. And this drive is a phenomenal drive today. We almost have a zero intervention drive, but when we get to the airport, they actually blocked off our side of the road and redirected us to the left side of traffic, and the car pretty much falls on its face. The reason being is because the car notices that there is construction and it wants to make the right hand turn into that construction, but it sees another car on the other lane with the white dash and decides that it's not going to take it. So I have to break it out of FSD. I then turn into the construction lane, which we're supposed to go into, and then the car kind of starts going at a slow pace, and I have to step on the accelerator to keep the car from going. But you can definitely tell that the car really does not want to be in that lane. And so that's just something that FSD has to work on, is constructions, going through detours, going through different routes. I had the same issue on previous versions as well. When we went into highway construction, the car really didn't do a good job, especially off of off ramps that were like a long distance off ramp. So we might have to go 0.5 miles through construction on the right side of a highway before we get to our off ramp. Well, the car doesn't really know that because the navigation data basically pulls the car in to that off ramp right before you're supposed to take the off ramp. So I've noticed things like that in the past as well. But this version of FSD, it is so much better than the previous versions. We are on FSD 12.6.4. This is the end-to-end highway stack on a hardware 3 car. And I wanted to mention one thing. The city streets on this car just don't work very well, and I think that might be some of the problem that we also have here going to the airport. Is this technically, while it's not a city street, kind of acts like a city street because we're going through a 2-lane road. We're going under some tunnels, we're doing some weaving basically, and it just doesn't handle it always super well. Now, one thing I wanted to mention right here is the car actually does better here than it's ever done. So it actually moves over into the right-hand turn lane that is coming up right here. The car's never done that before. Usually what it will do is we'll go straight, it will take a right-hand turn. And then through this section here, the car seems to be going at a normal pace, which is fantastic. It's never done that before. Also, it used to take like the right-hand turn lane for every turn, but basically here's where the issue comes down. So they blocked our side of traffic. The car is going to make the turn, and then it decides to go against it, mainly because this FedEx vehicle is pulling out. But here's the split. FSD is now engaged. We're at full speed. So this is where the car needs a little bit of acceleration to keep the car going, especially right here. I'm actually holding down on the throttle a little bit, and then I let go once I hit 30. And now the car will basically go through here. The other thing is tunnels. Tunnels are a little weird for my car. For some reason, the lights don't always turn on my car when we go through the tunnels, but then other times they will turn on, and I think it's really just a big distraction. Now, it's not as yellow as it looks as in the film. It's more of just a dark area, but I boost a little bit of saturation on my video. But basically right here, the car, again, it's starting to slow down, but I am just stepping on the acceleration pedal, and then we will properly move into our right-hand lane. Again, this is the Minneapolis viewing area. It's open to the public. I highly recommend it to people, especially if you want to kill like an hour, or if your kids like airplanes, just drive right out here. We actually drove through those tunnels. The planes actually go right over you. So that is the runway, and you're just going underneath the runway. So it's a pretty cool area if you're in the Minnesota area. To check it out. So we love airplanes and everything. So now what we're going to do is go through our second tunnel. And I also don't understand some of these distractions that pop up on my screens where it says pay attention. My head is mostly forward for these drives, but I did notice that even when I wear my clear sunglasses, there must be some type of reflection or something that the camera doesn't see, and it doesn't show me as viewing everything. So once in a while, after it gets really annoying, I'll just take my glasses off. Also, baseball caps, can't wear a baseball cap at all because it basically blocks the visualization of your eyes. And so active eye tracking just doesn't work, and you constantly have to tug on the steering wheel. That's just one thing I hope that they can fix. But yeah, that's it for this video. Very short, very sweet drive, minus that little construction area. But if you guys would, feel free to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll be making more city videos, testing FSD there. Highway seems to be pretty good. City needs a lot of work in my opinion.